today's session, we will see how to construct a payoff table and the various approaches in decision making. That's the Maximax, the Maximin, and the Minimax regret approach. So let's jump right in. What is a payoff table? A payoff table or a profit table shows all possible profits or losses. We will take the very same example of Adam that we did in part 1 and part 2 for constructing a payoff table. Adam has two options: start the apple jam business or the apple juice business. There is a 50% chance that the labor will be cheap. Now, the profits expected from the apple jam business is, if cheap labor is available, $10,000. And if he gets expensive labor, it's $3,000. And for the apple juice business, if cheap labor is available, $20,000. And if expensive labor is obtained, there is a loss of $6,000. Construct a payoff table. So let's draw a payoff table. I have taken the decisions as the column headings and the uncertainty as the row headings. What are the decisions that Adam has to take? He can either start an apple jam business or an apple juice business. So that will come as the column headings. Now coming to the uncertainty. What is the uncertainty involved? There is a 50% chance that the labor will be cheap. That is, there is a 50% chance that the labor is expensive. So the uncertainty is cheap labor and expensive labor. So we write that as the row headings. Now we will take each situation. If Adam starts the apple jam business and he gets cheap labor, what is the profit that he gets? It is $10,000. So we write that in that slot. If he starts apple jam business and he gets expensive labor, then what is the profit? It is $3,000. Now coming to the third situation, if he starts apple juice business and he gets cheap labor, then he gets a profit of $20,000. So we write that too. And the last situation is, if he starts the apple juice business and he gets expensive labor, then he ends up with a loss of $6,000. So we write that too. And the payoff table is complete. Now coming to the decision-making step with respect to the risk attitude of each person. Now this person is a risk taker. He somehow wants to get the maximum profit. So what is the risk attitude? The attitude is, he is a risk taker and he is an optimistic person. Who is an optimistic person? A person who expects good things to happen in future. So the approach that he takes is known as the Maximax approach, and it is a short form of maximum of maximum. Now, what are the two decisions that Adam has to take? Either apple jam business or apple juice business. So if he starts the apple jam business, what is the maximum profit that he can get? The maximum profit is $10,000, correct? And if he starts the apple juice business, what is the maximum profit that he can get? $20,000, correct? So we write that too. So these are the maximum profits of the two businesses. Out of this, he will select the maximum, okay? So he will select the apple juice business. That is, first you will take the maximum profits of each of the decisions, and out of which you will select the maximum. That is why it is termed as the Maximax approach. So the final decision is, he will start the apple juice business. Now coming to the second risk attitude. This person is running away from the risk. He's fearful about the losses. And this kind of attitude is known as the risk averse or a pessimistic person. He expects bad things to happen in future. So the approach that he takes is Maximin approach. And the meaning is maximum of the minimum. So what he will do is, he will first select the minimum profits of each of the decisions. So what is the minimum profit of the apple jam business? It is $3,000. So we know that amount. And what is the minimum profit of the apple juice business? It is negative $6,000. So we note that too. So we have selected the minimum profit of each of the decision. Out of this, we will select the maximum. So we will select $3,000. That is why it is called maximum of minimum or the Maximin approach. So Adam will start the apple jam business. Now coming to the third risk attitude. So I will show you a picture and you have to think what kind of attitude this person has. When you're playing a football match and the other team loses, there might be one person in that other team who gets so upset and so angry because of the loss. Such kind of people are known as sore losers because they become so sad on losing. The financial mindset of these people are they become extremely sad if they take a wrong decision. So, what they always try to do is they will try to minimize their sadness or minimize their regret. Now, what do you mean by regret? Now, suppose you go to a shop and buy a cake for $10. And on the way home, you see the very same brand of cake in another shop and it is priced only at $8. So won't you feel sad? Won't you feel that regret? You will feel a regret for $2. That is 10 minus 8. For $2, you will feel sad. You will just think, oh, wrong decision. So this is known as regret. The sadness that you feel for making the wrong decision. So since we've understood the meaning of regret, we will go back to the problem. So this is the payoff table. So the first step is to calculate the regret for each situation. The regret is given by the best outcome minus the given outcome. Consider the best outcome of each uncertainty. Regarding the first uncertainty, that is the cheap labor, what is the best outcome that can come? That is getting a profit of $20,000, correct? So we write that in the outer column. Now coming to the second uncertainty. Regarding the expensive labor uncertainty, what is the best outcome that can come? The best outcome is to get a profit of $3,000. So we write that in the outer column too. Now we will take each situation. If Adam starts the apple jam business and if he gets cheap labor, then he gets a profit of $10,000. But was that the best outcome in that particular uncertainty? No, the best outcome was to get $20,000. So Adam will feel sad or regret for how much amount? It will be $20,000, which is the best outcome, minus the given outcome of $10,000. So what is his regret? It is $20,000 minus $10,000 or $10,000 is the regret that Adam will feel in that particular situation. Now coming to the next situation. If Adam starts apple juice business and he gets cheap labor, then he will get a profit of $20,000. And what was the best outcome in that particular situation? The best outcome was also $20,000. So will he have any regret? No, he will not have any regret. So what is the amount of regret? It is the best outcome of $20,000 minus the given outcome of $20,000, which amounts to 0. Now coming to the next situation. If Adam starts the apple jam business and he gets expensive labor, then what is the profit that he gets? He gets $3,000 as profit. Is that the best outcome in that particular situation? Yes, the maximum profit that he could get is $3,000. So what is his regret? He will not have any regret. The regret is the best outcome minus the given outcome. That is $3,000 minus $3,000, which is 0. Now coming to the last situation. If Adam starts apple juice business and he gets expensive labor, then what is the profit that he gets? He gets a profit of negative $6,000 or he ends up in a loss of $6,000. So he will feel sad. He will feel sad for how much amount? Because the best outcome in that particular uncertainty was getting $3,000. Now he is sitting with a loss of $6,000. So what is the amount of regret that he will feel? It is the best outcome minus the given outcome. So 3,000 minus of minus, it becomes plus, or it is $9,000 is the regret. So we have completed the regret table. And what is the name of the approach? It is Minimax regret. So it is minimum out of the maximum. So first we will choose the maximum regret of each of the decisions. Now, if Adam selects the apple jam business, what is the maximum regret? The maximum regret is $10,000. So we write that at the bottom. Maximum regret is $10,000. If Adam selects the apple juice business, what is the maximum regret? It is $9,000. So we write that too. And we have to select the minimum of the maximum regret. So out of these maximum regret, we have to select the minimum or $9,000 because he wants to minimize his regret. He wants to minimize his sadness. So the final decision will be Adam will start the apple juice business because it minimizes his regret. So we will have a quick recap. If the person is a risk seeker or an optimistic person, he will choose the Maximax approach. If he's a risk averse or pessimistic person, he will choose the Maximin approach. And if he's a sore loser, that is not willing to take the wrong decision, he will choose the Minimax regret approach. With this, we come to an end of today's session. If you have benefited from the video, do click the subscribe and the like button and do share it with your friends whom you feel will benefit from the video.